I think it's movie time. I barely do any movie reviews on this channel, but I'll tell you a thing. I love boomer shooters. I love me some Stephan Weyte doing Caleb's on the Bloods. I love me Doom. I'll tell you what I don't like though. Movie adaptations of video games. For centuries, this particular genre has been filled to the brim with failure after failure after failure. Hell, don't even get me started on the Uwe Boll movies.
You're easier giving $600,000 if you make a movie about some wizard in the forest.
Oh boo-hoo, I can steal any more German taxpayer money for my shitty movies, oh boo-hoo. Now let me tell you that for this holiday season, I got this similar German movie that's not a movie adaptation of a video game, but a movie adaptation of a whole video game genre. FPS, first-person shooter, a movie from 2014 directed, written, edited, produced, and acted by none other than not Uwe Boll, but by a guy by the name of Andreas Lutzelschab. I'm really sorry if I butchered that name. He also later directed Hellstone and Ghost Files. I don't know, but for me, he seems like the Tommy we saw of boomer shooter movies. And guess what? This movie has Stephan Weyte on it. You know, the voice actor behind Caleb, the protagonist for the 1/3 of a wholly built engine trinity, Blood. Oh sure, I love to see Caleb's voice on something again after, Blood 2 The Chosen. I wonder, what's this silly video again? Well, that sure called the attention of younger me. Anyway, I watched the whole film and it's not good. I ripped off the Vandit again. I just watched every mind-numbing, painful minute of this movie, and I'll say that it's just basically a cheap attempt at a whole gimmick from the 2005 Doom movie where the perspective is entirely in first person, like an FPS game, but with cheap masks and makeup. Now, I don't know how fake-ass gore from this film will sit with the YouTube algorithm or the monetization system, but I don't give a shit because at the time of making this review, I am not able to monetize content. And also, I don't really need to detail every single thing about the movie because near the whole movie is just basically moving very slowly through the same corridors, killing a zombie, Stephan Weyte doing one-liners, and it's the same fucking 3 corridors. Also, I'm really sorry if there are subtitles put into this. I didn't edit the subtitles. This isn't like the movie is in a foreign language, so let me explain. I decided because I'm poor and I just wanted to try an ages-old technique for downloading this movie, the yo-ho, a pilot slap for me technique. However, I couldn't torrent this goddamn movie. No one has it. So I didn't download this movie from torrent, nor anywhere but on YouTube. Yes, somehow some poor sod has re-uploaded the whole movie on YouTube and I just had to rip it off from there. And it has Spanish subtitles. Fuck. So anyway, the movie starts with a DOS game intro that looks like a real amateur hour. I mean, what is this, Capstone? The pinnacle of entertainment software? Makes no difference. The protagonist conveniently goes out wearing a hockey mask and a leather jacket as protective gear. I mean, sure, I can wear a Jason outfit to protect myself against COVID. Is aware that there's a whole epidemic that rots the entire population into mindless zombies, and then goes out to the hospital where his wife Linda who is conveniently pregnant. Okay, I know this because of all this unneeded exposition bit in the car, which looks like our protagonist is a concerned bystander in all of this. But then all of a sudden, he gets knocked out by a doctor in a gas mask, and when he wakes up, he all of a sudden becomes a Stephan Weyte Caleb meme.
Some, you ugly swine. Somebody loves me. It sure as hell ain't you.
The whole movie is like this. So there's 3 types of things the protagonist picks up while slowly crawling through the corridors. One is this exposition letters which the movie reads for you and tells you what's obviously going on at every corner. Second is keys. And the third are the huge variety of weapons, including this pistol with only one bullet. And the HUD is like Doom Titanfall. Oh. Look, I'm only 15 minutes into this film. Movie isn't really that long. It's 80 minutes runtime. But I already can stand it 15 minutes in with a Caleb one-liners out of place and everything. And he wastes the only bullet he's got on this stupid dumb zombie because plot. He goes to the attic where this nurse is most likely stuck there. Turns out it's another zombie. But the dumb protagonist has no ammo, so what does he do? He runs. I mean, dude, did you just have a hammer earlier or something? No, because plot, he goes into this room to find a shotgun with 8 shells and blows up the nurse zombie's head. Goes downstairs through the other locked door and intermission screen. 100% kills. That was like literally 4 zombies. He has to fight out the silly clown zombie. Notice how the protagonist shoots the clown in the shoulder? Well, the next shot he's got somehow an open stomach. That's some real inconsistency right there. So the clown is dead, and now our protagonist finds his doctor in a room where more exposition happens and tells the doctor to find the keys in the upper floor. Too bad he turns into a zombie. Yup, that might have been predictable. But the protagonist gets infected. He has to drink 3 of the antidote blue vials to cure himself, and he later takes 2 so far. One of them is conveniently placed in a closet nearby because plot. The second dose is up on the floor from presumably the first level because plot.
It worked, but I still need the 3rd dose.
Spoiler alert, he'll never find a 3rd dose. And then security forces happen because we obviously need hit scanner types in this movie. There's a couple for good measure. And our protagonist grabs another shotgun. Like, didn't you already have a shotgun? Anyway, he later scraps a decomposition analyzer that definitely looks like a crappy toy gun someone bought for $5 at a Chinese bazaar. And like, what is the point of having a scanner like that if you can already hear the zombies and shit? I mean, this guy, you can easily see him in front of you, and it's like making noise all the time nearby. I don't know, it's blood, I guess. Oh, good. Okay, good grief, this level's done. He gets captured and dragged into this closet without his weapons for no apparent reason other than plot.
What's that familiar smell? It smells like death.
It definitely smells like Stephan Weyte is being held reading whether as silly as the script is, considering he's still throwing one-liners like these in dire situations like these.
Oh, poo.
And of course, the cook is pretty dumb enough to not notice the protagonist escaping right next to him because, I don't know, plot. After yet another bit of paper not exposition, he fries alive a wheelchair zombie that looks like Babushka there with a classy aerosol and lighter combo. Get it? It's like in Blood, except this homemade flamethrower does barely shit and just burns off his head with a scrappy green screen fire. I'm surprised he keeps the decomposition analyzer after being stripped off his weapons. He grabs a key and a crowbar because, you know, Half-Life, and escapes the cook into the basement and knocks out a zombie with a crowbar. Why would you do that with a gun? I don't know. He also grabs a machete afterwards, and at this point I cannot count how many melee weapons does this guy have already. He had a homemade spine from Knuckle Fists, a hammer, a giant spine hammer, a crowbar, and now a machete. I'm pretty sure that's not how melee weapons work in an FPS unless it's something like Escape from Tarkov or Scum, which I never played because I have a sense of self-worth. Oh, I forgot to tell you about this autosave plot point in this movie, which for the most part happened every time the protagonists enter a new level after intermission screen. Yeah, this one happens out of nowhere because thanks to the magic of the plot, we will see some of the real pointless shit in here.
Say hello to my little friend.
Okay, couple problems with this. One, That looks like a fucking shitty zombie Halloween costume. Come on. 2. Why didn't you attack him with a machete? Somehow you did freeze completely over there and let the zombie kill you in one hit, which doesn't make any goddamn sense even for boomer series standards. What, did you suddenly happen to not be able to pause a multiplayer game for a sandwich? 3. Why pick up the pickaxe later after loading the quick save when you could just have attacked with the zombie with a machete? Is the pickaxe more powerful against zombies? Because it seems you could kill similar zombies with way smaller weapons like that. Even your goddamn fists! This is the point where I realized the movie just basically ran out of steam, and it's basically throwing anything at the viewer just in hopes it sticks with the whole retro FPS thing in the movie, even though it already done that at the start of this goddamn movie. We're close to finishing this movie, don't worry. After slowly walking through a fucking cave and trying to cheat for a shotgun through the way because plot, I guess, he finds a conveniently placed chain gun which looks like a toy chain gun and starts mowing down zombies with that. At this point, the movie suddenly turns into a shitty Unity Wolfenstein 3D clone with zombies because the producer, director, and writer of this movie could not afford anything like extras or stunt doubles or anything. I have no idea how the fuck did they get Stephan Weyte to do the voice in this movie. This movie might have had the budget of a couple $100 and a currywurst in a local shack in Berlin. My point is, having Stephan Weyte might not have been particularly cheap, considering the rest of the movie falls apart with the cheap costumes and the toy guns and how the movie happens in the same goddamn place entirely. It's like one of these homemade movie school projects you did as a 10-year-old for elementary school, you know, but with grown-ass adults partaking in it. Or like an Uwe Boll movie. Notice how the protagonist starts a whole 3D retro FPS and ends it with the same spot in the IRL caves right there. Not moving a single inch from there. Okay, so he hears a scream, presumably from Linda, goes back upstairs into the hospital. The same hospital corridor he's being in. There's a hand scanner where presumably not just from the amount of exposition we got from the movie, but also because the protagonist says it out loud, Linda is locked in. He also finds a health syringe and a chainsaw that weren't previously there in the first place. Why would you establish first there was a chainsaw there? Why do you need it now? Anyway, he mows down the cook with a chainsaw, and then he's starting to turn into a zombie again until he gets shot by the doctor, who spells the most absurd brilliant monologue in existence. Just listen to this.
What a wretched attempt. You can't stop me.
This is KTIT, K-Tit, the best tunes in town. Also, this is a certified hood classic.
In about 5 minutes, I'll reap the fruits of my labor. My experiments will be freed, and they will be totally immune against this ridiculous toxic gas. At this point, I will leave, and you will be eaten alive by my creatures. Oh, what a shame. I'll take your wife, or more precisely, the fetus inside her, with me as a container, a host for my virus.
How do you even spread a virus with a fetus? What are you gonna do? Is he gonna grow up to be a killing floor enemy or something? How are you going to take care of that?
No one will know what she's hiding inside, what she's carrying for me. And for all that time, she'll be unconscious. At least to the point when I open her up to retrieve my virus and set it free.
Okay, sure, let me just chop off your head while you're distracted with glass noise. Yeah, okay, buddy. He finds Linda, and Linda is being turned into a zombie too, so they both commit suicide in the end. Except, no, John, you are the demons. And then John was a zombie. The end. This movie has that particular charm of a B-movie done in any possible wrong way. Let's just set up a general rule of thumb, and if the 2005 Doom movie did a better FPS segment than your whole entire movie, don't even bother. Hell, I'd rather watch Hardcore Henry that does.
Burger King.